All right, so we're in the shop today working. We got a lot of stuff going on. Stella thinks it's time to go home. And I had a bit of time to work on a personal project. A lot of you followers have been interested in my Berkeley. It's an SE 328. It is now two colors. I have used spare primer that I had laying around on the back and spare primer on the front. The back is cream colored, the front is black, as you can see. And from some other painting projects, I thought I should get some primer on it, and that kind of kickstarted me on working on the car. And today, I had some free time, like I said. My goal was to get the car to steer. When I got the car, it had no steering. In other words, the steering column, the steering wheel, the steering box came as a special part, and I didn't actually know how it went back together. You can see now it has a steering wheel. This car is, of course, left-hand drive. It has a steering column that I rebuilt, basically went through, checked the bearings, greased everything, checked all the clearances, and cleaned it up and painted it and put it in the car. And it's a pain. Everything is Whitworth. Does anybody remember Whitworth tools? It doesn't quite fit standard, doesn't quite fit metric, and I don't have any, but I made it work. I got it in there. And for those of you who are looking at this car going, why is he even bothering with this rust bucket? You know, I like to recycle. I like to make old things new again. I know it's rusty, and I know I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but I want to see this car on the road. And just having it, it bothered me that I couldn't steer it. Just pushing it in the parking lot, I have to kick the tire to turn it, which now the original tires have epoxy-coated rims and brake drums, and I'm waiting for some parts. So we're making some good progress on the car, although when I think I can put the steering in it in an hour or two, I'm just kidding myself. It took pretty much all day to get that in there. The steering on this thing is, let me get into it a little bit. So the car is fiberglass. This big hole here in the center above the steering wheel is fiberglass, and they hook the bearing or the support bracket to the bottom of the speedometer hole. So there's about that much fiberglass that keeps this whole thing in check. Gosh, I just don't think that's a great idea. I put bigger washers inside there. I don't know if you can see those or not, to help kind of stabilize it. But if some big guy gets in here and tries to use the steering wheel to get in or out of the car, he's just going to rip it out of the dash. I had to goober weld the, I don't know what this was made out of, magnesium, I guess, and steel, two different materials. The nut that has the splines on it into the steering wheel hub, because there was about 10 inches of play just in the hub. So I goober welded that. I got that in. I got the shaft in where it's supposed to go. I don't know if you can see the tunnel there. It's got a cool little cutout. It's made out of aluminum. And then I had to deal with, somebody hacked this panel that's supposed to go here that gives this support. So when you turn the steering wheel, I'm going to turn it left and right, the box kind of twists. I have to make a new bracket, probably out of steel, to fasten this part of the box to, so that the box doesn't twist. But everything else seems to be there. I now have basic alignment. In other words, when the front wheels are straight, the steering wheel crossbar is straight, and I'm pretty happy about that. I can always improve upon it. So I've got a master cylinder coming. I've got wheel cylinder kits coming and some other parts, and I still don't have an engine. Or do I? I am seriously thinking about using this 1776 engine that I've had kicking around my shop with the Volkswagen transmission, flipped 180, and putting it in there. I have no experience with flipping the transmission on for a Volkswagen Beetle. It may or may not work, but size-wise, it's pretty close. The carburetors kind of stick out a little far. I might have to go to a single carb, but let me know in the comment section what you think. If anybody has flipped a Beetle transmission upside down so that you can use it in a front-wheel drive application, it would totally be, I think it would work. No radiator involved. The engine might stick out a little bit, but then, my car had, sorry about that, compressor kicked on. My car had a Panhard engine and had the mounting system way out here. at one point in time, I would redo that, but I don't know. I'm thinking about it. That engine and that car. We'll see. All right. Well, that's probably enough yammering for today on the Berkeley project. Thank you for all your help. There's been a few people in the club and on the Berkeley website on Facebook, and also some friends that are dear to me to help me get that steering column in, because it just did not seem possible with what I had. So thank you to those of you. You know who you are. All right. And we'll see in the coming days and weeks if that will work in there. I think it might be a good marriage, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next run.